you guys are now the Whiz Kid panel.
Nice.
And Shafiq, you know what? You did pretty well on those trivia questions earlier.
I did myself pretty well.
So I feel like if there's any questions for the panel out in the audience, now would be a good time to ask, because here are your Whiz Kids. And if there's any questions, and they could be even trivia questions too. If you have a good trivia question, let it rip. Go ahead.
So I know Michelle a little bit, but I know you're an attorney. I know Sean asked you if this experience had helped you in your pursuit of, artistic career. Did this in any way influence your, say, choice of college or your choice of career in the end?
So the question was, so the mics can pick it up, is did your experience not only influence your future in, I guess, the arts or in front of the camera, but also some like college decisions or becoming an attorney?
That's really funny because this was also the same year that my friends recruited me to be on the law team. There was this competitive mock trial team.
Really?
Yeah, and they said, well, we know the law, but we're scared to get up there. You've got a big mouth. Come join us. I said, okay. So they basically put me on the bus. We figured we'd go in and lose the first round. They taught me how to object and what the rules were. And I never considered law at that point. This is a long time. This is a long time, and about 10 careers ago. And they basically briefed me on the bus. It's like, okay, we're going out to Northport. There's this great ice cream place. We'll lose a round, go out for ice cream, come back and hang out. And we ended up making it to the quarterfinals just because I just got up there and just started winging it. I just started ripping because I really didn't have anything to lose and I didn't know any better. And it actually made it pretty humorous. I mean, we had all these hypothetical cases, this broken mattress case, and I remember asking, sir, were you doing anything unusual on the mattress at the time that the springs popped out? And it's like, that went over pretty well. We were winning like 3 or 4 cases, and we lost to the host school, which is pretty impressive. And where did you get that ice cream? When I was doing a lot of trial work after I graduated law school, while I was in law school, because I went to school and worked during the day.
What state did you go to law school in?
I went to law school in New York. And I went to college. But that's not where I went to college.
I thought, didn't you go to Michigan?
No, but Michigan's a lovely state.
Fine.
I went on vacation in Florida once.
Florida?
Yeah.
Well, no. We went to Florida. It looks like this. I'm kind of from there.
Yeah, it does.
Man, my card's all wrong. It says you went to Michigan, I guess. Throw that one out, right? Sorry, I took you off track.
That's okay. When I was doing a lot of active trial work, I didn't do comedy at all because it was basically just like being on stage. I had to just wing it a lot of times and do dramatic things. I mean, I learned a few objections from Law and Order. They do good work on Law and Order. And there were a few times where I actually got up and did the old school Michael Moriarty. Your Honor, the witness is not on trial here. And sometimes the shit works, and sometimes they're just not impressed. Oh, can I say that on TV? I'm sorry.
You can say impressed.
Thank you. It's a wrong word, I know. So it was a little bit of a trade-off, and now that I don't do a lot of trial work, I do a little more performing. So it's sort of the balance. But yeah, I used to be in court every single day.
All right. Are there any other questions? Maybe trivia questions? Yeah.
This is for Cleaver. Where in the continental U.S. did you go on your trip?
Where in the continental U.S. did you go on your trip, Cleaver?
I went to Florida because I had never been anywhere. I went to Orlando, spent my sister and I went, it was for 2.
Orlando, that's right here.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. It was a trip for 2, and so I went with my closest sister, and my other sister and my brother-in-law came along, and that was a really fun time because, like I said, I hadn't ever left. Well, other than Virginia and Louisiana, I hadn't been anywhere, especially for an actual proper vacation where you went and did parks and everything. So that was a lot of fun, man. But the first couple days were kind of bad because I lost my luggage.
Aww.
And
it was Carmen.
Yeah. And no one else, everybody else had their luggage. So I was just walking around like a jackass in my same clothes. I was just changing and everything. The cool thing though about being 12 and having your luggage lost is that you don't have to go get it. a grown-up will go get it for you, and it'll be in your room later on.
Nice.
That's great, right?
Now, what do they pay for? Do they pay for like your food, your entertainment,
that.
whatever you do?
Actually, they paid for, like the hotel was paid for, and I guess that I'm pretty sure they had some kind of meal deal at the hotel. Maybe not.
You don't get like a lot of cash and like spend.
Actually, you know what? I did. But I think I got $500 spent for spending. I think that's what I got.
500?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But like
That's $1 million to a kid.
But like I didn't,
$100?
But I didn't like have it in a pouch or anything. Like someone else had it. Like someone else had the money, which was fine. But there, like I think there may have been some Disney tickets involved, but I don't think so. I think my sister and my brother-in-law actually just did a whole bunch of timeshare visits, and when you do those, you get a lot of free, like complimentary fun park tickets, like Universal and all that stuff. So it worked out. You know, it was fun, man. It was, and I was in a different school. Like I was in 7th grade when I did the trip. I just let it go, just let it run. And then like I took off for a few days. I was like, yeah, I was on this show last year, and like I won a prize, so I gotta go do that. And they were like, oh, that's great. Like they didn't know before that, so then I became cool for that for like a couple weeks. But in middle school in Brooklyn, it's different. Everybody's a little tougher.
Yeah.
They don't care about that stuff anymore.
Carmen San Diego gives you about 2 months.
Yeah, I had to lie and tell them I was 11. When I did it, so that I wouldn't like, because if you're 12 and you're doing that stuff, no, you get pumped real hard. So I have to lie. I think I may have even said I was 10 once, just because you never know, man. It was rough in that school.
All you gotta do is mention you got the sweet Carmen San Diego money.
Yeah, that's the last thing I gotta tell them. They still got it. It's tough deal.
So I guess we have time for one more question. If anyone has any more questions. What's the capital of Michigan?
Oh, that's Lansing, right? Yeah.
I guess we have more time for more trivia questions. I used to watch Jeopardy every day, and I know because my mom just asked that question, right? We used to watch Jeopardy every day when most families ate dinner and talked. We watched Jeopardy.
Did you not have dinner? In lieu of dinner, did you watch
We had food, didn't we?
Did you put it in front of the TV?
Yeah, you had to eat it quickly though because you didn't want to like not get an answer because.
You made during the commercials. Well, did you guys compete with each other on Jeopardy?
Pretty much. Yeah. One more question.
What's the capital of Mauritania?
Oh wow.
It's the capital of.
I don't think I ever knew that. I don't think I ever knew the capital of Mauritania. I don't think I did.
Trick question, there is no Mauritania.
Wow.
I feel like you use that all the time.
Where is Mauritania? Oh, okay. Well then.
You know, it was the big one. It was the big one in the southeast.
Really?
I found it. It was in.
Yeah.
It was like the first one.
Oh, it was one of the ones that gave you?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten everything but Madagascar.
Like there was a point, like during high school, where I realized that they had added a country to the continent. Not added one, like put more land on, but like the names were changing.
Yeah.
Like Eritrea showed up one year.
That's right.
And then I was like, well, I don't know about this. And then the war started happening, and then Zaire went, and I was like, I'm done. That's it. I can't trust maps anymore. I don't know you anymore. That was it.
That's when you thought you could rely on something.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. It's just math, right, guys? Math. It's pretty reliable.
I like math. Math
Oh,
suits me.
I got a question from Michelle.
Okay.
Was there any point where you felt like you had peaked after Answerwise? Like way into your 20s. Like everybody has that point during their 20s when like things aren't going so well,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, man, Answerwise was it. That was it.
Yeah, 25 was a real letdown.
Yeah.
Between schools, I was working 60 hours a week, and I was just like, man, a quarter of a century, and what have I done?
Answerwise.
Well, with that, I appreciate you guys coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Michelle Dobrawsky. Lamar, and Wayne.
Oh, that was a good time.
Thank you very much.
Oh man, thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.